What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today I just feel like making a video just because I rode the S1000RR yesterday, just a little bit over the Delta, just along the river, and it was kind of just getting more miles in. I'm actually stuck, let's say, at just can't seem to find the time to put some miles on this thing. Let's see where we're at. So bear with me for a second here. I love that dash though. Let me see. It's 177. So you can see right there. So I've been trying to put some miles in on this. 600 miles. But I already have initial thoughts from the first ride from the dealership and to now. I never had a this generation S1000RR, as I mentioned before. I had the 14, the 16, and the 18. 16 and 18 is the same thing. 2014 is like they call it the second generation. The first and second generation essentially, and the third generation is the 15 to 18. I would argue that a lot of people would argue that the 15 and the 18 are the best years of the S1000RR, but I think I used to agree to that, but I think now I like this specific one. So the 2023 in particular, I feel is just off the bat better. I haven't ridden it on track, obviously, but I will soon. But in terms of just the package, I know it's more expensive now. Before, I think my 2014, I think I got it out the door for like $21,000 or something like that back in the day, and then it just keeps going up and up. Inflation, prices, technology. I think the 2016 I had was it's getting up there, 22 23. Now this one's like 28 out the door essentially, with the M package. The package changes. The way the bike is set up is also different now. You kind of get more. So with the 2023 and the 2023, you get more of the M technology into this bike. So actually, I know you're paying more, but essentially you're getting more too. So essentially they're pretty close in terms of technology. You have all the electronics of M1000RR besides the engine internals and things like that. So I was bouncing back between getting the M1000RR of this generation versus this one, the normal one, and I feel like you get more for your dollar as a regular rider with the regular S1000RR. So ultimately, it would be cool to have an M1000RR just for the cool factor of it, the looks, looking at it in the garage. But this bike is gorgeous on its own, and as a package, like I'm just looking at it right now, just the little changes that they've done over the years. It's so far from what the 2018 I had was, and off the bat, I would tell you like I don't know what they did, but it seems lighter. In terms of like, when you're sitting on it and feeling the weight, it seems lighter. The weights are almost the same, similar, but the distribution of weight seems lighter on this bike compared to the 2018. I don't know how that is. I don't know why that is. So I'm just talking out of my own first personal feelings here, and it seems like it's a skinnier bike as well. I don't know why. Maybe just the geometry of it and all that stuff. When I test rode the 2020, it had carbon wheels. This is forged wheels. You do notice the difference in carbon wheels versus forged wheels. So for people that are wondering, if you have an option to do a carbon wheels, it's better in terms of weight. But I don't know about longevity. People are saying they crack, etc. I think that's a case by case basis. So for me personally, I chose the forged wheels because I'm tracking this bike. I'm going to be changing tires often. I don't want to scratch or do any damage to the carbon wheels. I know they're going to be better on a perfect scenario, perfect setting, everything. I just I'm scared to scratch it and damage it and all that stuff because it's carbon. The forge is just fine for me. There is a noticeable weight difference when you're steering the bike. Handling wise, turning, it feels like it's much lighter. It's much lighter. It's almost like it feels like maybe like a 600 or something like that because of how light the bike feels with those less rotating mass essentially. I feel like I want to just like I'm just looking at the bike. It's just everything about it is just so nicely like done. Like I never looked at a 2020 really in all the detail, but specifically now that they have these like aero bits and the 2020 also the tail is different. And there's a lot of changes between the 2020 and this one. There's a lot of change. It's a whole different bike essentially. So it's kind of hard to compare this generation as one generation because this is kind of like a generation on its own. The 2020, like, I think they had an M package back in the day, or no, they didn't actually. Whatever the 2020 was, it didn't have what this has now, all the electronics and technology that this one has. I feel like it's just it's like the right time to jump in. You know, if you're a big fan like me, I was a big fan of the 2018. I missed that bike all throughout these years, and I feel like now. Oh, you also have the like yeah, the M package comes with the endurance chain. They said that you don't have to. It's like low maintenance chain, and it's gold, and it's just everything is tied together. You're like I don't even know personally what else to do with this bike other than eliminating the cat, which is like just get a header and connect it to that rear pipe. Honestly, that's all I want to do with this bike, and I just want to keep riding it as is. So also, I was riding it around the street. It's not the immediate thing for me is comfort. It's not as comfortable. It's not as comfortable as my previous ones, but because that's all because of this seat here, and a lot of people maybe are not aware, but I'm sure everyone else is now. The M seat is much firmer than the normal seat that comes on the Passion red one and the black one. So the basic black seat is much cushier than the M seat. Although the M seat looks better because it has this M embroidered stitching on it. And I had too much M stuff on it now because of this padding here, the protective traction pad, which I got on Amazon, which is really, really cool. Really, really, really nice quality too. But yeah, I don't really know what else I could add to this that would make the bike better, except for the exhaust and the tuning. Everything is great on it. I forgot how smooth a inline four engine is on a bike. I haven't really ridden one in a long time because like I said, the last one I had was a 2018, and after that I had a Panigale V4, and Super Dukes. So they're all like V style engines. Although the V4 Panigale V4R, it's super smooth as well for a V4 type motorcycle, but the inline four is still a different kind of smoothness, and it almost feels like you don't notice the buildup of power because of how smooth it is, but you just keep getting faster and faster. So given I'm not unlocked yet, but I can easily reach like over 100 on this, even on a restricted rev limiter. So it's just a really powerful bike. So I haven't, it's been a while since I've experienced this, so it's actually kind of nice to get back into it. I'm kind of scared actually because I know I've been riding the V4R and all that stuff, but like because those give you so much input and kind of emotion, it's kind of easy to gauge how fast you're going. With this, because of how smooth it is, it kind of you just have to kind of look down sometimes, like, oh shit, I'm actually doing 80, 100. So it's like, I just kind of want to note those couple of things. I know I'm all over the place here, but I just kind of want to. Basically, this video is like an appreciation video for this bike. It's just an amazing machine, and I was never a fan of how they changed the front end of this bike because of like the S1000RR has that asymmetrical face, but looking at it now, I mean, you cannot deny now that this just looks really, really good. And maybe a lot of people complained about the asymmetrical face, but I think with the arrow that they added, it looks like a mustache, right? But like it just kind of ties everything together and everything kind of makes sense. And it's yeah, I was a fan of the asymmetrical face because that kind of that the GS still has an asymmetrical kind of look to it, except for the new one. The new one has the X light now, but this one seems like it just works, and I'm actually starting to love it. I mentioned on the previous video, I added the EvoTech radiator guard there. You need that off the bat so you don't damage your radiators and oil cooler. Deleted the passenger pegs. I added that EvoTech block off plate. You don't need it. I just kind of want it for bling factor. And the Futurist Moto fender eliminator license plate thing there. So other than those things, this thing doesn't need anything. I have the turn signals black off plates from Futurist Moto as well. I just didn't put it on because I like these for riding on the street. You can actually see. I don't want to do a bar end mirror because we lane split here in California, and I just want to keep myself as skinny as possible between the lanes. But there, I mean, right now. It's kind of getting colder now, so I ride in the morning, but now it's kind of getting harder and harder to ride because all of a sudden the switch from September to October here in NorCal, it's just 50 degrees or something right now. You know, I'm still getting acclimated again to the cold because it was like 90s, and then all of a sudden it's like 50s. So it's also dark, so it's really annoying when it's super dark and you can't really see anything going through the canyons and stuff like that. But yeah. So I mean, I just kind of want to give you guys that quick take. If you guys are wondering about this bike and how it compares to the previous generations, I was so hesitant to jump into this generation because of all the horror stories that I've heard. I didn't really care too much about that. I listened to it, I read about it. I just think that a lot more people are having this bike now, and a lot more people are not. Every bike has their quirks, and a lot of bikes. I never thought that the S1000RR had quirks, but I feel like since before, like let's say 2014, 2016 era, not a lot of people really have access to this bike. I would say, like, I don't really hear a lot of people owning these bikes, but now it seems like there's a lot more people that have them. Insurance rate seems to have gone up as well because of that. So you get more issues reported online, and that's kind of like, you know, the correlation there. I never heard of a lot of issues really with my 2014 all the way to 2016, but now I'm actually on the forums, people who are buying older bikes are reporting issues, and I'm like, oh, I never heard of that before. So I think it's just you have more of a bigger sample of owners now, and it's kind of giving you a false. I mean, I don't know if it's false, but maybe it is a true thing. But maybe because I own my machines, the bikes I own them to a certain way. Like I follow all the rules that how you take care of them. I also have a proper break-in that I do, which always have been working. I never had any oil like consumption on any of my machines, brand new. I always have them brand new. I mean, lately I've been buying brand new, but I've seen bikes that are not broken in properly. You know, like BT Moto. They talked about, you know, getting the bikes are always unlocked early. They always have issues like that. Just kind of use common sense, I guess. Just, you know, follow the manufacturer's procedure in taking care of it, and then modify it when it's already broken in, maybe, you know. So initially, like I said, I had a manufacturer defect on this bike where it was the chain adjuster screw or something like that. There was a leak. It was somewhere up here. I can't really see it, so I have to remove the fairing here to see it. It was kind of leaking. So I thought it was the valve cover or the engine head, the head gasket, but it wasn't. It was just the adjustment screw washer or gasket. All I had to do was unscrew that thing, replace the gasket, and it's fine now. So it was a defect from the factory. Never happened to me before, so, you know, like I don't want to count that as a thing that's going on with this bike. It's just a happenstance that, you know, that I got it. It's just you know, I bought so many of these vehicles before that I'm bound to have at least one of these experiences. So, but overall, I'm very happy with it. I feel like it's just gonna be such a long ways to a track day now. So it's just I want to find some more opportunities to ride, but right now it's just really hard lately. So yeah, I just anyways, yeah, basically this is kind of just like appreciation kind of post for this bike. I'm just admiring like all the technologies they've done to it, and for the price that you pay, I think you get more compared to so I paid, like, let's say Panigale V4, right? You would get more bang for the buck, essentially, getting an S1000RR compared to a Panigale V4. I know it's not exotic, but for less than $30,000, I think the V4S would be 30 plus, right? You get more for on this bike because you get at least you get the technology on the dash. You can connect your phone to it. You can have navigation right off the bat in there through your phone app. So the BMW Connected Ride, you can have your navigation in there, and it will load up on the screen. You have navigation already built into this, and you have your heated grips for sure, and cruise control, which you won't have on the Panigale V4S or any V4, I guess. It's just for less than $30,000. So also it doesn't burn your leg. So when I'm stopping in a red light on Panigale V4R, this part of my leg is burning hot, even on a cold day. So I love that it's not burning my leg. So anyways, I hope you got some good insight there for this video. I just kind of want to mention that. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on the previous ones, and it's like 5:30 a.m. right now, and I'm just kind of like sitting in the garage looking at this thing. I haven't I've been working on so many projects with the van, and I haven't even ridden the GS lately too. It's been like 2 weeks, so I need to make more content on that. Ride some more roads. So until then, I will see you guys again on the next videos, and thank you guys for watching.